Please like, share and subscribe. Title: Shadows of Evermore. In the isolated village of Ashwood, hidden by ancient forests and masked in mist, the tale of Sarah and Michael unfolded against a backdrop of whispered secrets and forbidden desires. Sarah, with her porcelain skin and eyes as deep as the midnight sky, found herself drawn to Michael, a brooding figure who was sweet and handsome. Michael's sweetness and handsomeness took Sarah's heart, making her drown in loving Michael. Sarah would sneak out of her house every night to meet up with Michael. When they were together, Michael would hold her in his arms, and they would look up into the sky. "I wish you were in my arms like this every day. I love you so much and don't know what I would do without you. I love you, sweetheart," Michael whispered into Sarah's ear as he pressed his face next to hers. In return, Sarah pressed her body against his, and they romanced into the night. As the sun rose across the horizon, they were woken by chatter near where they were lying. As the chatter got closer, Sarah recognized one of the voices as her mother. Michael also recognized the other to be his. The mothers reached them and began to chastise them. Sarah's mother yelled, "Sarah, why are you such a disgrace to the family? Do you understand what you have done? Your father and I have told you many times that you should not be seeing Michael. His family is poor, and he is not a good fit to be your husband. Get up and put your clothes on. I am taking you home to your father." Michael's mother responded, "Who do you think you are to say that about my family? You're the beggar of this village and the poorest of all. Your daughter is a whore, and she does not deserve to be my daughter-in-law. Michael, put your clothes on, we need to get away from these low-life people." Michael and Sarah begged their mothers to stop the lousy talking, but they refused and continued to argue. Michael looked at Sarah and said, "Go home with your mother, and I will find you later. I do not understand why our mothers hate each other, but remember that I love you." Like a flame flickering in the darkness, their love burned bright despite their family's disapproval, who viewed their relationship with distrust and scorn. Undeterred by the obstacles arrayed before them, Sarah and Michael met at the market. Michael asked, "How much do you love me? The only way for us to be free from the family hatred is to run away." Sarah replied, "I love you with all my heart and soul. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you. But where can we go? We have no money, and pretty much we have nothing." Michael responded, "If we have each other, we can do anything. I will work hard to support us. I was able to save up a little money when working with my father. I have enough to get us out of here and get a place to stay." After reassuring Sarah, they made a pact to flee the suffocating confines of Ashwood and seek refuge in a world where their love could blossom without fear or restraint. Under the cover of night, they stole away from the village, their footsteps muffled by the dense undergrowth as they ventured deeper into the heart of the forest. With each passing mile, their resolve strengthened, fueled by the promise of a future untainted by the shadows of the past. After many days of traveling, they located a village. This village was not like theirs, the people within were very accommodating. This village did not have a name, and the people did not wish to name it. For a time, their love flourished in the solitude of their newfound sanctuary, their days filled with laughter and whispered confessions beneath the dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy above. But as the seasons turned and the winds whispered tales of ancient sorrows, a darkness began to stir in the village, threatening to engulf them in its evil embrace. On a night shrouded in fog and uncertainty, tragedy struck, casting a pall over their calm existence. Michael, stricken by a mysterious illness that defied all attempts at remedy, lay suffering in the throes of fevered delirium, his once vibrant spirit dimming with each passing hour. Desperate to save the man she loved, Sarah sought the aid of wise women and healers rumored to possess knowledge beyond the realm of mortal understanding. But despite her tireless efforts, Michael's condition continued to deteriorate, his body ravaged by unseen forces that defied explanation. Sarah, my dear love, I am cold. Can you hold me for one last time? My time has come, and I do not want to leave you. I am sorry I could not keep my promise to support you, Michael whispered, choking in pain. Sarah replied, my dear, I cannot hold you. Look at yourself, your body has started to decay and is full of maggots. Where can I hold you? The rotten smell that your body has released is unbearable. I am sorry, but I can't. I love you, but I can't ignore your deterioration. Michael closed his tearing eyes as his life extinguished like a candle in the wind, leaving behind only memories and the echoes of disappointment. Consumed by grief and haunted by regrets, Sarah retreated into the shadows of her sorrow, her spirit fractured by the weight of her loss. In time, however, the passage of years dulled the sharp edges of her pain, and she found solace in the arms of another, a kindred soul whose presence brought light to the darkness that threatened to consume her. After the death of Michael, Sarah returned to Ashwood with her new lover. Together, they forged a new life for themselves in the heart of Ashwood, their love a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching gloom. But even as Sarah sought to bury the memories of her past beneath layers of denial and indifference, the spectre of Michael's memory lingered on, a silent witness to the secrets she dared not speak aloud. And then, one fateful night, as the moon hung low in the sky and the forest whispered tales of forgotten sorrows, Michael returned from the realm of the dead, his ghostly form a harbinger of doom and despair. Once filled with love and longing, his eyes now burned with an insatiable hunger that chilled Sarah to the bone. Try as she might to resist his relentless advances, Sarah found herself trapped in his spectral embrace, her willpower crumbling beneath the weight of his unyielding desire. In the end, there was no escape from the shadows of Evermore, as Sarah and Michael were doomed to spend eternity locked in a dance of death and desire, their souls bound together for all eternity in a love that defied the boundaries of life and death. As the moon cast its silvery glow over the forest of Ashwood, Sarah found herself trapped in a nightmarish realm where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into obscurity. Michael's spectral presence grew stronger with each passing moment, his ethereal form looming ever closer, a spectre of vengeance and longing. Desperate to break free from his relentless grasp, Sarah fled deeper into the heart of the forest, her heart pounding in her chest like a drumbeat echoing through the night. But no matter how far she ran, she could not escape the inexorable pull of fate, which drew her inexorably closer to the ghostly apparition that haunted her every step. As the branches clawed at her skin, and the underbrush tangled around her feet, Sarah's mind swirled with memories of the life she had left behind and the love she had lost. She could still feel Michael's touch upon her skin, his whispered promises of eternal devotion echoing in the recesses of her mind like a siren's song luring her to her doom. But a glimmer of hope flickered like a distant star on the horizon during the chaos and despair. With every breath she took, Sarah summoned the strength to defy the spectre that sought to claim her soul, drawing upon reserves of courage she never knew she possessed. And then, as if guided by an unseen hand, Sarah stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight, its tranquil beauty starkly contrasting with the darkness surrounding her. A solitary figure stood in the center of the clearing, cloaked in shadows yet radiating an aura of undeniable power. With a sense of trepidation mingled with hope, Sarah approached the enigmatic stranger, her heart pounding in her chest like a drumbeat heralding the dawn of a new day. And as their eyes met in silent communion, she knew that she had found her salvation. For the stranger was no ordinary mortal but a guardian of the ancient forest, tasked with preserving the delicate balance between the worlds of the living and the dead. With a voice like the whisper of the wind through the trees, the guardian spoke words of wisdom and guidance, offering Sarah a glimmer of hope in her darkest hour. With newfound resolve, Sarah vowed to confront the spectre of Michael once and for all, to break free from the chains of destiny that bound her to him and forge her own path in the world. And with the guardian's blessing, she set out once more into the depths of the forest, her spirit ablaze with determination and purpose. As she neared the heart of the darkness that threatened to consume her, Sarah called out to Michael with a voice that echoed through the night like a clarion call. And in that moment, she felt a stirring in the air, a shift in the fabric of reality as the forces of light and darkness clashed in a battle for her soul. With every ounce of strength she possessed, Sarah faced down the spectre of Michael, confronting him with the truth of their love and the pain that his relentless pursuit had wrought upon her soul. And as she looked into his eyes one final time, she saw a flicker of recognition amidst the shadows, a glimmer of the man he had once been before the darkness claimed him. At that moment, Sarah reached out to Michael with a love that transcended the boundaries of life and death, offering him the forgiveness and redemption he so desperately sought. And as their spirits intertwined in a final embrace, she felt the weight of his presence lift from her shoulders, leaving behind only the echoes of a love that had defied the ages. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Sarah emerged from the depths of the forest, her heart lighter than it had been in years. With the Guardian's blessing and the memories of her past to guide her, she set out once more into the world, ready to embrace whatever adventures lay ahead. For though the shadows of Evermore still lingered on the edges of her consciousness, Sarah knew that the chains of fate no longer bound her. With the strength of her love and the courage of her convictions, she would carve out a new destiny for herself, one filled with hope, joy, and the pledge of a brighter tomorrow. As Sarah stood at the precipice between worlds, her heart heavy with the weight of her choices, she felt a familiar presence at her side. Turning, she saw Michael, his ghostly form shimmering in the ethereal light, his eyes filled with a mixture of longing and sorrow. He reached out to her with a wordless gesture, offering his hand in silent supplication. And though her rational mind screamed for her to resist, to turn away from the abyss that beckoned with its promises of oblivion, Sarah found herself unable to deny the pull of destiny that bound her to him. Taking his hand in hers, Sarah felt a surge of energy course through her veins, lifting her spirits and filling her with a sense of peace she had not felt in years. As they stepped together into the swirling mists that marked the boundary between worlds, she knew she was embarking on a journey from which there could be no return. As they traversed the threshold between the realms of the living and the dead, Sarah felt a sense of liberation wash over her, freeing her from the shackles of mortality and granting her access to a world beyond her wildest imaginings. Here, amidst the shifting shadows and ever-changing landscapes of the spirit realm, she and Michael were free to explore the depths of their love without fear or restraint. Together, they walked hand in hand through realms of endless possibility, their spirits intertwining in a dance of passion and desire that transcended the boundaries of time and space. And though they left behind the mortal world and all its cares and worries, they carried the memories of their past and the love that had sustained them through the darkest days. As they journeyed more profoundly into the heart of the spirit world, Sarah felt a sense of peace settle over her soul, as if all the burdens of her former life had been lifted from her shoulders. Here, amidst the swirling mists and shimmering lights of the otherworldly realm, she and Michael were free to be together for all eternity, their love an eternal flame that burned bright against the backdrop of infinity. As they faded into the mists, leaving behind the mortal world and all its trials and tribulations, Sarah knew she had finally found her true home. Here, in the arms of her beloved, she would dwell forevermore, a testament to the power of love to conquer even death itself.